Hello, it's another Monday, and my pleasure to welcome you to Leadership Monday. Leadership Monday, and my name remains Olatunji Shobodu. And on Leadership Monday, the focus is on empowering you with one or two nuggets to help you do leadership right. So, let me tell you what we'll be talking about this on this edition. How to distinguish true leaders. How to distinguish true leaders. Or if you like, what are two factors that distinguish true leaders? We often say whatever is worth doing at all is worth doing well. And I want to say that that statement, is true for leadership. And when you come into a leadership role or leadership responsibility has been trusted, all right, on your shoulders, because lives of people are involved, it's important that you do it right. It's important that you are effective in that role. It's important that you succeed as a leader. What's the point taking all of that responsibility, putting in all of that sacrifice and not being effective? Well, in actual fact, those who are true leaders at heart want to be effective. They want to be successful in the role. They want to be able to share what they have. They want to be able to transfer what makes them tick. All right. They value the lives of people that have been put under their care, and they want to make sure that they add as much value as they can to such people, to such lives. And I believe that you also share that, same desire to make your leadership worthwhile, to make the most of your leadership, not just to benefit yourself, but to benefit your primary constituency. That's what a shepherd does. A shepherd is all about his sheep and how to ensure they don't get lost, how to ensure that he nurtures and develops them very well, how to ensure, that they are kept safe and empowered, and when the time comes, he can release them, to go and become shepherds themselves. And so if you want to do that, it would interest you to know what are those things that distinguish true leaders? What are those things that make you effective? There are not many of them, all right? And I want to look at this from a unique perspective today. This is just one perspective, all right, for bringing out what can help you to distinguish yourself as a true leader, all right? Not a fake, not one who is deceptive, not one who is hypocritical, all right? And so what are they? What are they? And if you notice what, the covering montage is for today, you would notice the two things. So let me bring back that montage briefly so that you notice the two things, okay? And those are the two factors that distinguish true leaders. So there you have it, truth and grace, truth and grace, truth and grace distinguish true leaders. Truth and grace distinguish true leaders. Well, by now you know that our role model leader at Emet Leadership Academy, where I am founder and CEO, is Jesus. All right. There is no better leader. There is no more effective leader. If a man led a team of 12 thousands of years ago and you are still feeling their impact till today, then he surely knows what leadership is about. and he did it right. You and I are still beneficiaries of the work that he did on just 12 people, maybe 11 if you like. All right. And how was he able to accomplish that? Well, the secret was let out in a description, that was given about him. And what was that description? In John 1 and verse 14, we're told that this man, this role model leader, was full of grace and truth. Was full of grace and truth. And I'm not trying to be religious here, all right? I'm just going to show you how profound this insight is. So if you want to describe this leader, and I see him as a leader, as my role model leader. I mean, he had a team of 12. He put together a team of 12. He did that specifically for a purpose. He led them, all right? He replicated himself in them, and he sent them out to go and do the same thing that he came to do. I mean, he made that very clear. So what is leadership? That's what leadership is. And they did a great job at that. And they went on to produce many. I mean, that's how, some of us have been impacted today. All right, directly or indirectly. Now, he was full of grace and truth. Grace and truth are required, all right, for effective leadership. True leaders focus on building this themselves in these critical areas. All right. And let me speak about truth. What is truth? Now, in our, day-to-day businesses or endeavors, just look at truth as principle. Truth as principle. All right? They work irrespective. It doesn't matter who engages them. All right? They work. That's it. Principles work. True principles work. True principles have no respect for you. They have no respect for me. They only have respect for people who obey them. They only have respect for people who fulfill their requirements. All right. If you look at a farmer, okay, and the process of, farming, of sowing, taking seed and sowing it and yielding a harvest is a clear principle. I call it the seed to fruit principle. Jesus spoke about that. He laid out that principle, acknowledging it in the parable of the sower. Everything about that principle is truth. It works for anybody. It lays out, all right, how to achieve a harvest. It lays out how to achieve any goal that you desire. Okay? And we're not going to go into the details of that. But that is truth. That is truth. Is something that is established that you can bank on any day, under any circumstance. And if you fulfill the requirements, you will get the results. The beauty of truth is not partial. Truth is dependable. Under the circumstances that have been prescribed, if you do what it requires, what it dictates, it will give you results. All right? And I've used an example for you. And therefore, the power of truth, what makes truth, all right, so relevant for leadership is that, one, it provides a solid anchor for you to carry out your leadership assignment. Because one of the traps that leaders fall into is that of hypocrisy, hypocritical conduct. Critical conduct means you can't depend on this person to do the same thing under, the same conditions. So one day he handles a matter in this manner. Another day, a similar matter, comes up. The parameters are the same, but he does something completely different. The way that a leader ensures that he or she always does the right thing and is consistent in doing that is by holding on to truth, is by holding on to principle, is by anchoring their leadership to clear principles. To clear principles. When you anchor your leader to clear principles, your people can depend on you. You become reliable. It increases your credibility. It helps them to believe in you and to commit to you, because they know how you reason. They know the things that guide your actions and your thoughts. All right. So, and that it saves you also, because the truth works. I always say nobody needs to fight for truth. Truth fights for itself. Why? It works. Whether you like it or not, it works. Okay? So that's the first thing. And you can see the advantages for a leader who hangs on to the truth about leadership. Okay? In this particular instance. All right? Now, what is grace? So it's one thing to know the truth. It's one thing to know principle. But what is grace? Grace is the ability or the capacity to do the truth. All right? Or perhaps to do anything. You want to accomplish anything, you need grace. Grace is ability. Okay? Grace is ability. Now, ability, another way to put it, is knowing what to do in any situation. That's why I love John 6 and verse 6. He said something about Jesus, and it was pointing to this same grace, that this man was full of grace. What did he say about him? He said he himself knew what he would do. For he himself knew what he will do. I mean, that's the making of a good leader. In any situation, they know what to do. Who doesn't want to follow that kind of leader? Who will not commit to that kind of a leader? Would you rather commit to a leader who is looking around, who is wondering, who is looking perplexed in the face of challenges when he's supposed to be the one providing the direction? No, I wouldn't follow that kind of leader. You shouldn't follow that kind of leader. What is grace? Grace is knowing what to do in the face of any situation, in the face of any challenge, in any circumstance. That's grace. Knowing what to do, having the ability to do what is required to get you out of that situation, or to resolve that situation, or to get the results that you determine, that you desire, rather. So you can see the potency of this combination. The potency of this combination. Now, grace is knowing what to do. All right? But it is better to do what is according to the truth. That's why it's not one or the other. You can know the truth and not do it. It's possible. There's what is called the knowing and doing gap. You can know truth and not do it. Okay? You can possess grace and not know the truth. I mean, people do things and they get results. I mean, by the way, people get rich, all right, through different means. Some people know how to defraud others. I mean, I hate to say it, but that they have grace for it. They succeed. But are they working on the basis of truth? No. Is that the kind of thing you want? No. So you need truth, because there is another way of succeeding, all right, by doing the right thing. And that's for those who know the truth. There's the right way to get the results you desire. There is the right way to get the results you desire. That is a combination of grace and truth. The right way is truth, all right? Knowing what to do in that, following that process is grace. So when you look at grace and truth, or truth and grace, as the case may be. All that, is saying is that you need to know the principle and you need to know the process that produces the promise of the principle. Let me take that again. You need to know principle. When you are faced with any situation, when you come into any situation, if you are a leader, even on the subject of leaders, of leadership, you need to know principles, the relevant principles for carrying out this responsibility. And you need to know the process that they dictate. Interestingly, most principles offer insights into the process. All right. The seed to fruit principle of the farmer that the farmer follows lays out a process as well. Lays out a process. The combination of the two is a combination of truth and grace. That's what it takes to succeed. That's what it takes to succeed. That's what it takes to be effective in your leadership role. What are the principles that you subscribe to, that you lead by? Do your people know it? And what's the process that you follow to deliver, or to activate or put that principle to practice every time? And that's what you and I, as leaders, need to continue to work on. The more we build ourselves up in these areas, the more insight into how to get things done we have, and the more we know what we must do in different circumstances. You cannot have those two and not be effective as a leader. You can't command those two, and the right people will not commit to you as their leader. All right? There are two factors that distinguish leaders: grace and truth. Grace and truth. If you know anything about Jesus, if you know anything about, why he operated at the level that he did, why he would speak, and, people will say, well, we've never seen it in this fashion, why he always knew exactly how to handle every situation. These two factors are the secrets behind, the level at which he operated, and most especially his effectiveness as a leader. Grace and truth. You can do the same. You can follow the same. All right. And that's what we're committed to at Emet Leadership Academy. And so that's what we've been speaking on today: how to distinguish true leaders. They're full of grace and truth, and they continue to grow in it. All right. Again, my name is Olatunji Shobodu. I'm sure that you've subscribed to the channel. If you have not subscribed to the channel, share the link. If this has been a blessing to you, extend it to others. All right. I mean, you don't lose anything, but you gain everything, because you become an instrument for building leaders, within the society. And we need leaders. We need leaders. We need not just leaders. We need leaders, or people who do leadership right. And they do it according to truth and with grace. That's why our commitment at Emet Leadership Academy is nurturing leaders based on truth. Nurturing leaders based on truth. All right. You can see our motivation, and by the grace of God, God is helping us. So join me on Thursday. It will be time for leadership in 30 minutes. And, I'll be speaking on something else. I'm sure it's something you'll be interested in. So make it a date. Enjoy a wonderful week, and make sure that you commit yourself to doing leadership right. God bless you, and bye-bye.